Today's lesson on life is assist and show up for life. I'm so excited to have with me my special guest today. Before I introduce them, we're going to talk to these experts in the community who've been trained and who are prepared to save lives. They train others to make a difference in the lives of other people, especially when it's a matter of life and death. Do you or your organization need training on suicide prevention? Well, the ASIST program or the training might be right for you. ASIST stands for Applied Suicide Intervention Skills, and it's an internationally recognized suicide prevention program designed to integrate intervention principles into everyday practice. Please welcome to the show Ms. Christy Letson, our expert and trainer from the Planning Council, and Mr. Dennis Southers, Substance Abuse Intervention Program Coordinator and Educator at the Department of Human Services in Virginia Beach. So my first question is to Ms. Letson. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself as a trainer, and also then we'll go into sort of what the ASIST program is.
Well, I have been an ASIST trainer for about 13 years now, and it helps to focus on those life skills that bring people hope at a time of distress and crisis. So I've been working in that for quite a few years now.
And we've all joked, and all of us who know Chrissy have said she's trained me, she's trained with Dennis, she's trained with a number of folks that we know. So she's being very humble about her training experience, and she is an awesome trainer. But that's a little bit about sort of your role, but also tell us a little bit about the ASIST program and what it is.
Well, as you said, the Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training is really a way for any caregiver, any person in the community to offer first aid to a person experiencing a suicidal crisis. So if we, as a friend or a neighbor, someone at the cashier line in Walmart, anywhere, recognize that somebody is in distress, we can use very clear and simply defined skills to help that person make a choice to stay safe for now and to get some needed help.
So it's for immediate help.
Yes.
Okay, and I love the first aid piece because I think that resonates with people when they think of first aid or CPR, something that you can do something to help save a life. Mr. Southers, is there anything you want to add about the ASIST program and sort of what it does or what it brings to people?
One of the benefits I'm not a clinician, so my role is more education.
Okay.
And the program's for anyone, like Christy said, it's a cashier. Last time we had a lot of people in the community, a lot of like the Union Mission, different areas of where people came.
Okay, so interesting. So I'm going to ask you about the audience for people who actually utilize the program. So who is usually taking your trainings? Who is this training for?
We open it up for City of Virginia Beach, but it's open to anyone who wants to attend. As long as you call us and register, it's open for you. And we really like to have a diverse group. I don't want just clinicians, because I'm not a clinician. So if we get some pastors and some, lay people and anybody can, you may have to address the issue of suicide. So we all need the training.
Okay, wonderful. And so we're talking about, and as I was looking into this program, which is wonderful, we're talking about police officers, we're talking about military personnel, we're talking about, again, lay people, our pastors, parents, anyone really can take advantage of this program, right?
Very true. And in fact, we encourage that because the helping of a person at risk has to start from the ground up. It has to start when we become concerned. Beautiful. That anybody who's doing something that we might notice that's out of character or we're just curious about, that any person can learn the life assisting skills to help them stay alive, even if it's just until we get them to another level of care.
Yeah, and it's so amazing. It's so amazing that you can have the tools to help someone when they're in their most sort of dire situation. Something else I saw was something called ACE, ACE, which was Ask, Care, and Escort. Is that something that's a part of the ASIST program? Is that something a little bit different?
It's different. ACE is specifically an Army program that has to do with a direct referral. So ASIST gives both the caregiver and the person at risk an opportunity to choose what would safety look like.
Okay.
ACE is when I become concerned, I have to ask the question, I have to care enough to do something with that and take you to a helper. And it's really designed for the Army to help soldier to soldier
Okay.
recognize when a person's in distress and to help them access care. And they have very specific kinds of care that would be the outcome of an ACE intervention.
And it's wonderful. I didn't know this program was an international program. And so I think that's wonderful because it's everywhere. Of course, it's in all of our community services boards, which we'll talk about too. Mr. Southers, can you give us some statistics? I know we talked a little bit about this, but why do we need this program in our area?
Well, one thing that we want to do is the programs that we have with the city are evidence-based, so we
Okay,
want to take a
good.
look. We need some markers. And if you look at the Chief Medical Examiner's annual report, in 2011 they had 64 suicides in the city of Virginia Beach and 53 in 2012, and that's the
Okay.
latest report.
Okay, wow.
So it gives us kind of a baseline of where we are
Okay,
and can we reduce the numbers.
okay.
So, and I think my supervisor told me that in Virginia Beach specifically, there are more females than males committing suicide. So, but as the ASIST program will teach, and as Christy will say, that suicide is for, I mean, it could be anyone.
Could be anyone.
It's not male or female or gay or lesbian or Army, Navy.
Exactly.
It could be your best friend
Exactly.
next door.
Exactly, and we've been saying that too. In our last couple of episodes, we've been talking about that there are statistics that say that there's a certain type of person that will experience suicidal ideation or experience suicide. However, it really can look like anyone. It could be any race, any age, any population. And so when we talk about this subject, it's important to note that we want to help everyone and don't dismiss anyone's feelings and don't dismiss anyone definitely who comes to you and says, I'm feeling suicidal. And so we want to keep putting that out.
I think the other thing that's really kind of a hallmark of ASIST and that training is that it helps us to not be so caught up in the group data. Group data doesn't tell me much about you as an individual.
Exactly.
And what ASIST encourages us to do is to address the individual, how they are, who they are, what's
Beautiful.
important to them, what this
Beautiful.
losses mean to them, and to meet them where they are, as opposed to say, well, you fit this demographic, so I don't really have to pay that much attention to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And so for people who are taking the training, is it another training where I have to go and I sit and you talk to me and I listen? What are some of the things that are typically a part of the training? Do we have some interaction?
It's definitely interaction. Now somebody called one time and they asked me, is the ASIST training fun? And I'm
that's a
like,
good
well, it's about suicide, so, but it's very interactive. And that, certainly we have small enough groups that we can answer questions.
Yes.
The key is that when they finish the 2 days,
Yes.
I can tell you everybody in the room knows how to address someone who's thinking about suicide, and that's what's really important.
That's wonderful. And I know you and I talked about that. So do you get feedback from that? Do people come back and tell you that they are able to do their own trainings? Because we're going to talk about the actual training of the trainers too in just a second. But
We actually had a person that was in the training and she left, I think it was the beginning of the second day, she left to go home and she didn't return. Of course, we were worried about her, and she had to use the ASIST program for somebody that was already thinking about suicide.
yes.
And she was able to do that effectively and then still come back to our group. So,
Wow.
but like I said, we were worried about her. We're like,
Of
did
course.
we say something that she didn't come back, or
She's
what?
using her skills.
Right.
That's
So-
good. So it's being put to work. Okay.
Often we hear that.
Yes. Wonderful.
From folks, just leaving the training and getting home, I've gotten emails, you'll never guess what happened at my dental hygienist.
Wow.
And, or literally in the store, grocery store, the clerk was really upset, and the
Yeah.
person who had just gone through the training said, this might be a really strange question, but I just finished this training, and I guess I'm just alert,
Yes.
and sure enough, that person really was in crisis.
Yes. it's the power of education. You know, as they say, knowledge is power. When you know what to do, then you can use it. When you don't have any skills or you don't know what to do, then you sort of feel helpless in helping people that need, you know, help, or maybe you can't even recognize or identify it. But if you have the skills and the tools to do that, then you can recognize when someone needs your help. Is there anything else that you want to share about the ASIST program or the training?
I think the one thing I would share is kind of what Dennis alluded to. People wonder whether or not this will be a training they can sit through for 2 days. It's hard to think about talking about suicide for 2 days straight, but it is quite interactive. It allows time for our stories, and above all, it's life affirming. It really reminds us that we need connection with one another.
Beautiful. And that's, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was something I really wanted to sort of bring out of this, is that this is a 2-day intensive training that our trainers do. And I know the trainers have to go through also sort of a 5-day sort of intensive training themselves, and then they have to go through their own supervised training, and then actually do that with a supervised person doing training with them, right? Before they can actually do a training by themselves. And so this is really good stuff, folks. And if you are in an organization, like I said earlier, and you need to train your folks, you can call, you can reach out to Mr. Southers, Ms. Letson. But you can also, you know, think about bringing this into your office, but also into your home. Maybe getting your whole family trained. Maybe, you know, if someone just went through something, just to sort of prevent it from happening again in your office or in your home. I want to thank again Ms. Chrissy Letson and Mr. Southers for being here from Virginia Beach. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on It's Life Change. We'll be right back. It's now time for me to speak into your life. Be careful not to get overwhelmed and choose just not to show up for your life. It is your life and you need to be present. There was an episode on Sanford and Son a long time ago where he was receiving so many bills and he was so overwhelmed that he decided to just put them back into the mailbox. And I want you to know that that's not an option. That's not an option, just not to take care of the things, the details of your life, and to just put things away and just not accept it. That's not an option that we're going to give you today. You have dreams, you have goals, you have a purpose, and now I need you to stop hiding, stop procrastinating, stop zoning out, and to show up for your life. And so that is what we're going to be talking about for the next few minutes. I have 3 things that I want to point out to you. And number 1 is, don't check out. I need you to show up for your life. Don't let the bills pile up. I need you to pay them. Work on a payment plan. Call the people and try to work out something, the terms of that issue that's going on with you, or deal with the consequence. I want you to don't let your work pile up. I want you to talk to someone, try to delegate, find someone to work with you, try to do something about the problem. Don't hold things in. That's a really big one. A lot of times people hold things in and it piles up, okay? And that causes you to check out. I don't want you to just walk around being unhappy with your life and your situation. Find someone to talk to or figure out a way how to make things a little bit better for you so that you can be happier. Don't hold it in, work it out. Number 2, face life and show up for your life. I need you to face your friends. No matter what was said about you or what you've done, face your family members, even if they are talking about you, and no matter, again, what was done. I need you to face yourself in the mirror. So many times people can't face themselves because of something that was said or something that was did. I need you to understand that I can't have you not facing your life. So I need you to face your life, okay, and show up. Thirdly, don't give up. I need you to show up for your life. Don't give up just because it seems like there's no end, seems like there's no answer. I need you to show up for your life. Don't just give up. Don't just roll over and cry and say, the world is over. There's nothing else I can do. There is something that you can do, and you're worth it. And I want you to know that life matters and that you can make a difference in this world. And if you choose to make one change and to change one life, let it be yours, because you matter that much. I love you today. Thank you so much for watching It's Life Changing. We'll be right back. Now we're going to have a little role play between Ms. Letson and Mr. Southers about how to help someone using the ASIST training. Mr. Letson, Mr. Southers.
So Dennis, I've noticed recently that you've not been so active in class, and being a young adult like you are, I know you're going through a lot of things. What's been happening?
Things just haven't really been good. I don't feel like I fit in anywhere. My mother just passed away, and things just aren't good.
Wow, sometimes when people say things aren't good, and they talk about events in their life like your mom dying, they think about suicide. And I'm wondering if you've been thinking about suicide.
Yes, I've been thinking about ending my life.
Really glad you told me that. What else has been happening?
I'm just sick of everything, and I feel down all the time, and things haven't worked out. I was supposed to get into this college, and I wasn't accepted, and my girlfriend left, and I don't have any friends. I'm over it all.
Sounds really overwhelming. A part of me, though, thinks that maybe, even with all of that going on, you have hope that it can be different.
Well, I do have a sister, and that's really my main concern.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to happen to her.
Sure. And I know how much you love her. Is it possible for us to make a plan for you to stay safe right now?
It is.
Okay. So let's start to work on that. And there are lots of things that might go into that, but one of the things I want to know first is, can you commit to that plan to be safe?
I can. I do have a bottle of Xanax that I was planning to take, so.
Well, we need to take care of that. Who would be a good person to take possession of those pills for now?
I could probably give them to my dad.
Okay, so we'll make a phone call and make sure that those get taken care of before you get home today.
Okay.
Okay. What about drugs or alcohol? Anything like that?
Really wasn't thinking about alcohol. There is some alcohol at the house, but
Do you drink
I don't really drink.
Good.
So.
Okay, that will help our safety.
Okay.
Now, if in the middle of the night things change and you need to talk to somebody, who's that person going to be?
I do have an uncle that I feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable talking to my dad, but I do have an uncle.
And can I also give you the national hotline number, the 1-800-273-TALK? We had that big assembly at the beginning of the year
Sure.
talking about it.
Sure.
Do you still have that number, or can we just go ahead and put it in your phone?
Give it to me again.
Okay. All these things make you feel a bit safer now?
Yes.
Okay,
definitely,
so I'll help make
definitely
some of those
safer.
phone calls and we'll get you connected to some help.
Sounds good. Thank you for your help.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, great. Give them a hand. Thank you again for watching It's Life Changing with Dr. Carlita Perry. We'll be right back. Welcome back to It's Life Changing with Dr. Carlita Perry. It's now time for your community resources. And again, I have with me Mr. Dennis Southers and Ms. Christy Letson, and they are going to provide some resources, their agency information for you.
Good.
Oh, okay. Again, my name is Dennis Southers. I'm with Department of Human Services, Behavioral Health and Wellness Prevention Services. Ava Lawrence is my supervisor. And I'm an educator too with the city, so again, I don't have the clinical background, but still the program is very effective. But we do a lot of different programs with the city of Virginia Beach. It's the YCAT, which is the Youth and Community Action Team, which is a coalition for substance abuse prevention. We have HERO, which is having empathy and respect for others, anti-bullying program, Celebrating Families, which is a family that's impacted by drugs or alcohol, HIV services, education and testing, mental health first aid, supporting a person with a mental illness or a mental health crisis. And of course we have the ASIST program as well. We do have a training it's going to be offered April the 9th and the 10th. It's at Pembroke 3, which you can call me for that information.
Wonderful.
And I can give my number?
Yes.
Okay. My number is 757-385-0819. There are also, I like free information. SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration, they have tons of information that is free. Also, they have it in Spanish. They have After an Attempt. This is a program, it's a toolkit for high schools, and it's for maybe a teacher that's interested in implementing the program. The good thing about their information is that it is free, and our trainings are currently free. I don't know that they will always be, but right now they are free, they're funded, and Christy could tell us more about the funding and why all the materials happen to be free right now.
I may send some students there.
Absolutely.
Definitely, free training. Okay, beautiful, thank you, Mr. Dennis Southers. There's a lot of resources in Virginia Beach. And again, maybe perhaps some of those services are for just Virginia Beach. However, as we said on earlier shows, and we always say, there are different community resources and community services board, like we have here on Western Tidewater Community Services Board. But in every city, there's some type of community resources that you can take advantage of. And so we want to make sure that you do that. Again, thank you, Mr. Dennis Southers, for providing that information. Do you have a little card that you want to share?
I did, but I forgot already.
That's okay.
But this comes from the ASIST program as well, and I'm a person who, if I don't write things down, I forget them, which I've already forgotten some things, but
You're doing great.
this is a great card that I keep with me most all the time. Anyone who participates in the ASIST program gets the card, and really you can pull it out if somebody's thinking about suicide. It tells you everything that you can say. It's kind of a checklist, and just helps to keep me focused and on topic.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love that. Okay, thank you so much. Again, Ms. Ludson.
Well, I think one of the messages I'd like to get out about resources is there are many resources. And Dennis is from Virginia Beach, but I work all over the state, all over our region, and there are lots of trainings coming up. And so I would recommend giving me a call. You can either call the Planning Council, which is 757-622-9268, or you might email me at clutsum@theplanningcouncil.org and find out what trainings are coming up. Some of these trainings are being sponsored by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Some are being sponsored by local foundations that focus on suicide and suicide prevention. There are also trainings that are provided through the community services boards and also through the Department of Health. So there are many opportunities in the community to get training, and there are different kinds of trainings. Sometimes a 2-day training won't fit your needs. Maybe a 3-hour training would fit your needs a little more accurately. Or maybe you're a clinician who needs to learn how to be helpful to a person experiencing suicidal crisis over the long term. So I encourage everybody to just find out what else is available in the community and what they might make available to themselves or to their organizations. Much of the training that we have now is available free of cost or for very minimal cost.
Thanks for having me on the show. I'm Karen Nicely, and I'm from Western Tidewater Community Services Board, and I supervise our emergency services. Our emergency services are available. We really want people to understand our services are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We are always there. I think the other guests in the earlier episodes have shared with you how important it is to reach out to people that are experiencing a suicidal crisis, and we're that next level of care. Our phone number, the most important thing is our phone number, 925-2484, and again, we are always there. After hours, we do have an answering service. Sometimes we're busy with someone else, but we will respond to you. We want to help. We want to be able to work with people and get them to that next level of care. Sometimes that involves the police. Sometimes people are in such a crisis that the family or friends need law enforcement assistance. And I'm wearing my CIT button today to remind everybody that we also offer a very intensive 40-hour CIT training to all of our law enforcement partners. And it teaches them how to respond to somebody who is in suicidal crisis or mental health crisis, so that when they are assisting that individual and bringing them to us, they know exactly what to do. when we have people come to us in our emergency services, sometimes we're seeking hospitalization for that individual, but we will help the individual and the family work through that process the best possible way and come up with an outcome that is going to help them move forward with their life. We also have services that we can divert individuals to and back into the services here at the Community Services Board. And I know that Dr. Sharonda Farrow talked with you earlier about some of those services, and we can access those things 24 hours a day. It's really important to understand we are there 24 hours a day. If we can get people to call us when a crisis begins, that's the best possible outcome.
Thank you. Yeah, beautiful, wonderful resources. Again, I want to thank Ms. Letson for being here as well, and Mr. Southers. You guys have been awesome and just a wealth of information. And again, I'm going to give out the National Suicide Hotline number, which is 1-800-273-TALK. And so that you can call and get resources. And if you feel like you're not ready to talk to someone, you can always call the hotline. But if you're an organization or person and you're looking for training, you're looking for resources, please take advantage of these wonderful resources. Reach out to them, and if they can't help you, they can send you to the right place to make sure that you get your needs met. Thank you again for watching. It's life-changing. We hope that we've given you a little peace, and remember that peace does not mean to be in a place where there's no noise, trouble, or hard work, but to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. God bless you.